have to click on it.
Right. Okay. So, okay, Warapon, do you want to say anything before we start?
So welcome everyone. Welcome back. So let's see this session. What Prajan will teach us. We say, let Prajan teach us.
Okay. So, good morning, everyone. So this is Sunday morning again. We are all gathering here to learn what is meditation and how meditation helps us in our day-to-day life, and how to apply these practices in our daily routine. Before we going on to any other topics, anybody wants to share, or anybody has got anything to ask from your practice, from your previous practices? Or in a way, kind of, you're coming to the classroom, now you have to give a homework. Okay, anyone?
Maybe I can say something. So this month has been a very difficult month at work, preparing for a product launch. And the first few days didn't go well. In the end, of course, we managed to bring things under control. And Thursday and Friday, while I was asleep, I woke up around, I don't know, 2 or 3 in the morning. And I was always thinking, what do I need to do to make the next production happen? And I so appreciate what we're doing here, because the moment this thought came into my mind, sort of everything that we've been doing the last few months kicked in. And I told myself, I just need to accept the thought, let it go, focus on my breathing. And literally 30 seconds, I started sleeping like a baby.
Mm.
And I was like, wow, it didn't affect me,
Mm.
And that's really down to the sessions that we've been having and what we've been learning from you. So thanks very much for that.
Yeah, well done. Very good. Very glad to hear now mindfulness is working.
Indeed, indeed.
Medicine is beginning to start working. Okay, anybody else would like to share? No? Okay. Janine, yes.
So hi everybody, I'm very glad to be back again. The last months have been very, very busy, but I continued to do my meditation, and I had a very interesting experience, because I had a dream one night, and it was, no matter what it was about, but it was very, very realistic. And then the next morning when I did my meditation, I followed my thoughts, and then I had the feeling that this structure, how do I say that, the feeling of my thoughts is exactly the same feeling as my dreams. And so it took some of their reality of it, and I try to apply that also about everything in all my life, to say, is it real or is it a dream? And to take some of its hardness of it, but it doesn't always work.
Good. Very good. So you're also beginning to see how words or thoughts are forming.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really good as well. Over the period of a time of the practice, gradually we will be able to see how these comes together, like all the jigsaws is coming together to make a word that you are going to say, or what that you are thinking of. Yeah. So you see the jigsaws are coming, and this again, and obviously help us to understand the conditionality, that how things conditions. Even to form that thoughts, you have to have an outside environmental influence that you come to contact with it. I think last session I spoke about attention as well. It doesn't matter what is out there, but your attention to that object creates these formings, and that also forms inside our mind too. So we gradually able to recognize that and make peace of it, and rather than annoyed, what a wonderful to see these jigsaw are coming. It's like if you look at the matrix, all the numbers coming together to form that, and then it's up to you to choose a blue pill or red pill, and that will destine to your happiness or worse. Okay. Now he knows. Would you mind to
Sorry, I didn't know that my microphone was on.
It's nice to hear like
so
a teacher.
the next generation is coming to meditation.
Yeah, okay. Okay, so that's why the practice of a meditation is basically help us not just remembering in the present moment, that we are learning. Although we are emphasizing more on living in the present moment, and that is the mindfulness meditation, like remembering to pay attention to the present moment awareness, right? Present moment experiences with an open mind and accepting mind without any judgments and without any conditionings, which will help us to understand the thoughts of the past, the worries of the future, and we will be able to see that how am I forming on the basis of the knowledge or information that I have got from the past, and then meanwhile thinking of if it's not going to happen in the future, what am I going to do, what will be happening. And in those situations we will be able to see that how am I forming those thoughts in me and causing myself trouble, causing myself in difficult position, like Nikhil was saying, was not able to sleep, right? And talking and finding it difficult. But the very moment when he recognized those thoughts forming, how it is coming and disturbing, and with that, being mindful of those thoughts, so you're applying the mindfulness into the present moment in the daily activity. So you're applying, being mindful of those thoughts, helping you to go into the calm and going into the sleep mode. So rest, proper rest. And obviously sleeping is basically means there is no thought. When there is no thinking, you are sleeping. And then subconsciously there is working. And that's how we get the dreams and different types of a dream. That's why they in Buddhism is saying body rests, not the mind. And in order to let the mind rest, we have to practice meditation. And if you practice meditation, as you have already seen the benefit of it, you realize it's very easy to get rest. It's very easy to get rest. All you need is to be mindful what you're doing when you are performing at that very moment. That's why it's called being mindful, help you to be happy. So having a clear understanding of that very moment. Right? So rather than going further, I would like to invite you to practice meditation, right? So that you can give all the past, your all expectations, and then anything that you are hoping to be. So learn to be in the moment here and now. Okay, so let's practice short silently, and I will guide you to the practice. So sitting in a comfortable position. So finding a comfortable position, aware of your sitting body, and spend some time on the breath. Observing incoming breath and outgoing breath. Each breath that goes in and each breath that comes out. And spend some time observing your own thoughts. What are you thinking? What are you observing? The thought that want to meditate, want to pay attention to the breath, or you're observing the breath non-judgmentally. Or the thought process. And making sure no strain on your eyes, on your brain, on your effort or suppression, any emotions. Along with the breath, let it go out. Now spend some time on the focus point, or call a primary object that you have adapted, whether it is breath at the nose or the rising, falling of abdomen. And what happens? How are you perceiving it? Now remember, whatever is there and you're paying attention to it, every intentionally paying attention to that focus point becomes dominant. Be mindful of that. Try to be mindful of your primary object, the focus point. Breathing in, breathing out, rising, falling. And try to notice the object that you're observing is one thing and your mind is another. Breath is one thing, your mind is another. Rising, falling is one thing, mind is another. Knowing mind is another. So every recognition that we recognize is one thing. And if we look at deeply, we realize every recognition always conditioned by the past experiences and knowledge. And on the basis of that past memories and knowledge, we try to perceive it from that framework to any other experiences. So we go far away from the reality, but perceiving only what we think and benefit for us. Breathing in, breathing out, rising, falling. Seeing it as they appear, as they arise, whether that's a thought, worries, fear, or guilt, regrets, whatever it is, just be mindful. Let yourself free from the thought of I should have done or I shouldn't have done. Or let yourself free from all the fears and worries. And what if this happens, and what if this doesn't happen, so on. It's a matter of a knowing and a seeing. And that is mindfulness. And we are seeing it not because we want it to see and want it to be differently, perceiving them from our own framework of our own frame of our thoughts and the perceptions, but seeing the reality. The breathing in, breathing out, rising, falling. And remember, if you're finding your mind is wobbly, delusional, wandering around, just be back to the primary object that you have adapted. And as you hear a gong, slowly open up your eyes and come out from meditation. Okay, so thank you very much. Last session, I introduced the walking meditation, which I believe you have practiced after watching those videos presentation. I wish we can practice together so that you know how to do walking meditation. But anyway, no worries. You can go back and watch that YouTube video to practice. Today, I think I would like to go back to the basics again, we will have a basic understanding of what meditation is about. Particularly, I will explain the concept of Vipassana, which is the insight meditation, and which I think is the most applicable in our day-to-day life. Okay? And as we know that there are two different types of a meditation. The first one is a concentration meditation, and that is basically we are trying to shut our mind, not the mouth, mind. Shut our mind down from all the disturbances and free ourselves from any distractions. And that is the state, and we able to non-distracted state of the mind, able to be in the non-distracted mind. State of the mind is a samatha meditation, also known as the tranquility. And here, tranquility, basically, your mind is fully shut down with the one object. Only one object. Now, this is psychologically impossible because we are learning so many things at the same time. All the senses are open, and yet we are forcing ourselves to shut it down. And with that effort we have applied, we are able to shut ourselves down for some times. But as soon as we come out from meditation, and then again back to normal, we engage our senses, beginning to observe, beginning to investigate and analyze things straight away. And then whenever we see things we want to grab, or whenever we hear things we already want to investigate or analyze whether it is true or not, whether that fits to me or not, whether that is in accordance with what I understood or not, and goes on immediately. And this is the world that we are living in. Yeah? So shutting our mind always doesn't work. It's just a kind of a small escape that we can find out. And yet this is also very difficult to practice. And it takes a lot of a rehearsal or a lot of a practice. It's called anusati, coming back again and again, paying attention to that object. And with that paying attention to that one object again and again helps to gain some form of so-called like a delusional state of non-distracted mind. Our mind works so fast and we think that we are concentrating on that object and gaining that concentration, right? And that is, and which again you can practice too, but that will not be practical in day-to-day life. But whereas I normally take this Vipassana meditation as a very practical and you can apply in our day-to-day life anywhere, everywhere, wherever, whatever you're doing, in every situation. Okay? So that is Vipassana. And that's why this is more of a going back to a naturalist, that observing everything as it is and let it be. Like when you are going into the woods in a forest, you will not be talking to this tree and that tree that wish you will be a Christmas tree, you wish you will be a mango tree so I can have a fruits. But you will take those trees as they are, free from proliferation, free from any judgments. Why you're so short? Why you're so tall? We have no judgment over these trees and plants when we walk into the woods. We simply enjoy them. The red flower, wow, beautiful. That's a red flower. Yeah? And this is a tree. Wow, such a long, a big tree. And we will be asking, how old are you? Yeah? So we are not in a conversation that why you are here, why you're so tall, why are you like that. So we're not going into that conversation, but we are seeing them as they are and enjoying it. And that is the practice. So we become a naturalist. So practice of a Vipassana meditation is basically whatever you're doing, you becoming yourself very kind and compassionate and taking everything as they appear, as they are, rather than trying to manipulate or proliferate or change it. So that's why Vipassana means clearly seeing as they are. Clearly seeing as they are, rather than as we want it to be. So seeing that in a true reality, not from our perception, not from our what's called glasses. It's like a horse wearing a green glass, and then even though the horse is given a dried brown hay, the horse will see a green and he will be enjoying that green grass. So we are not wearing those glasses, but we are unveiling those perceptions and views and experiences that we have and observing as they are. So we become mindful the way things are, and that is the Vipassana meditation. And it takes away all this darkness and confuse the state of the mind that we want it to be changed according to fit for ourselves. And if you look at it, nothing is fit for everybody. Once there was a time when the Buddha was, let me quote from this Buddhist scripture. Once the Buddha was giving a talk, and someone came and said, why Buddha gave very short talk? Similarly, another person came, oh, that's so long. And another person came, oh, I don't understand. Another person came, what a great talk it is. So like that. So we're taking away those states, but seeing it properly. And so it's like we are walking in a darkness and having a torchlight, or there is a light which gives us a clear view, and we feel safe and we can walk without any troubles. And that is the manifestation of the practice of Vipassana meditation. So the function is to take away the darkness of our own conceptually created concept of the things. And we are coming back into like, it's waking up ourselves and see things as they are. And this manifestation is basically the state that everything becomes the reality, and rather than the perception that we have created on the basis of our own concepts. So that is the important understanding of what happens after we become a mindfulness. We practice a mindfulness in our daily life. That's why in our day-to-day life, last session, I think I mentioned about being mindful of your daily activities as well. Now, whether would you be able to mindful of your daily activities? And previously, again, I have been referring again and again whether you manage to be mindful of 15 seconds of a practice, 15 seconds of a mindfulness, and brushing your teeth, and observing when you're drinking a tea or coffee. The 3 practices that I refer again and again, just simply to develop that this awareness, so that we can apply into daily routine. Like this morning, now I have been waking up since 2:30 this morning, and I've been attending some conferences as well. 2 conferences already, and one of the speaker was a successful businessman from Thailand. And if I call this business called a CP company, everybody knows. And this chief, one of what's called a chief, he was there to give a talk. And the way he was talking, he was saying that before meditation, he was like a money-making mind, always thinking of how to get more, how to get more, how to get more. And after practice of a meditation 40 years ago, doesn't mean that after the meditation he doesn't want to get more, but he maintained rather than chasing to the money, he used all the techniques to be mindful, and always changing every thought into a positive thought. and then become mindful of whatever he is doing, and become mindful of connecting to these all the goods and material things, appreciating, and every action that he is taking with the kindness and compassion to oneself, himself, as well as to other people and to the nature. And that gave him a lot of satisfaction and lots of happiness, and able to deal with the different troubles that he was facing and along the way. And he said that if you can't do it, just be mindful that you can't do it. And that's the story begins. And normally what happens is we try to change it, we try to fix it, and we try to make it happen as I want it to be. And it is impossible that it is going to happen in that way. So his motto is, be mindful. That's it. Everything solves. And this is when you are mindful, immediately your mind is in concentrated mode in the moment here and now. And with that, and there is like a light coming up. And the light is there to show you the path, and we can deal with our routines of problems. And that will help us to eradicate a feeling of a sadness, sorrow, feeling of a guilt and regrets, and even feeling of this physical pains and some form of a dejections in our body too. And with that, we are finding this right path, the right way to deal with it by observing ourselves, our body, and our mind. And the rest of all other things become less important, but become our own body and the mind is essential. And we will be spending time to observe it more and more. So that is the benefit of the practice. So that's why the insight meditation is basically you are taking meditation on the go. It's not like you're just doing meditation, just okay, today I am going to do 1 hour once a week. It is not that way, but meditation is on the way, on the go. Every move, everything that you are doing, just be mindful. And if you remember, I've been quoting saying, mindfulness meditation is not that hard. All what you need is remember to be mindful. Remember to be mindful, and that will change everything. The moment when you have this mindfulness, your intention is there to pay attention to what's going on. And when you are paying attention to the things that is happening in that moment, and if you don't have the right attitude, then that creates a sorrow and a sadness. But if you have a right attitude to it, then the thought process changes from negative to the positive. When you have a positive thoughts, everything becomes all right. Your intention and attention to the subject that you are observing or paying attention to becomes okay. But if there is the attitude is wrong, then that will not change. Okay? So that's why the practice of an insight meditation is to learn to be mindful in everyday work and having a right intention and a right attention to the things. And with that, you are having the right attitude on it. And that will shape our behaviors, our thoughts, and the way we speak and the way we act. And that shapes the happiness and unhappiness. So rather than choosing only 1 hour a week or a day, whatever you do, rather than thinking that I must do meditation, forget about it. You just function, doing it, knowing it. And with that, you'll be much, much better. And along the way, you will experience so many other examples and experiences. All you need is to be mindful that this is happening. It's okay. No big deal. And you go on, move on. Okay. So with this reflection, let's practice again, unless anybody wants to share something. No? Okay, let's practice. So listen with the gong. We practice. So first the practice would be scanning the body as we did last time. And then I will lead you through. So as you hear the gong, bring your attention to observe the entire body. So bring your attention to observe the entire body sitting here and now. Feel the support from a chair or a cushion that you are sitting on. Leave all the thoughts or worries or responsibilities and duties behind. And shift your attention to the entire head and observing what is happening in your head. Whatever sensations you can observe, observing it objectively. It could be heat or a cold, or some form of sensations, palpitations. Or some form of insect crawling in your face. So observing the entire head. Shift your attention to your right hand, from the right shoulder to the tip of your fingers, the right hand. So whatever sensations are there, be mindful of it. Whatever sensations are there in your right hand, observing them. And shifting your attention to the left hand. From the left shoulder down to the tip of the fingers of the left hand, observing all the sensations. Shift your attention to the front part of the body, from the neck down, the chest and the belly. Shifting your attention to the back of your body, neck down, upper back and a lower back. Moving your attention to the right leg, observing all the sensations, whatever sensations are there, objectively observing it with a good attention, with the right intention. You're paying attention to it with the right attitude, observing objectively. Shifting your attention to the left leg, and observing the entire body as a whole. and observing the entire body sitting as a whole, and see that what happens. You feel the pressure of your body that is touching a cushion or a chair. And you will realize some form of activities are going on in our body. Now shifting your attention with your motivation to pay attention to it, whether it is a breath or the abdomen. So breathing in, breathing out, rising, falling. And as you hear the gong, just come out from meditation. Okay, so thank you very much. Now this is a time for the sharing, question answer. You're most welcome to ask, okay, or share. I'm planning that from next time I will be going into the suttas, discourses. I will introduce dhammas, one dhamma at a time, in related to the meditation or the sections. Okay, so anyone wants to share or anything you want to ask? Stefan? No? Okay. No one? Okay.
I can share. I had recently, so similar to Nikhil, some sleepless nights. People were requesting more from me than I could give, and it also kept me awake several nights over a longer time. But in contrast to Nikhil, I could not fall asleep easily, so I was awake longer time during the nights. And as I learned here, I tried to accept my thoughts, said hello to them, and I tried, please leave my house, but it was not so easy. So I was fighting a lot with them. Finally, during the day, it was not that bad. I solved the problem by talking to people actively, and this helped a lot. So yeah, let's see if it will be better the next few weeks and months. And I hope that the nights will be better then. So at the moment it's okay. But yeah, kicking the thoughts out of the house was not that easy.
Yes, Janine?
So I would like to say something to what Nikhil and Katerina said, because sometimes when thoughts are keeping me awake, I tried also meditation, and I never can do it. When I do meditation in the daytime, it's doing me really well, and when I try to concentrate on my breathing in the night, that's the only time when I really get some kind of anguish crisis. And I can do body scan with some kind of a YouTube video or something like that. But when I just only concentrate on the breath, I nearly panic. But that, okay. And as I said, these last months, I was really very busy. So I launched a lot of projects, and although I still have some stuff to do, some other projects to launch, fortunately. But what I mostly have to do now is wait. And until I get the outcome of all these things, it will take months. And I can really feel that on the cushion, because I am so impatient and I only want to do stuff, and I start cleaning the house and painting the walls and whatever. So when I'm on the cushion, I really have problems to concentrate on the breathing. So I try to observe how impatient I am.
Yes, so that impatience is also, and when you are mindful of that impatience, you are mindful. You're practicing mindfulness. You're practicing mindfulness. So that's why I'm just trying to find one of my PowerPoints about sleepiness that I presented a couple of months ago, just to give you an idea. Yeah, so as the practice of a meditation is not just a mindful of a positive things. It's a mindfulness of when you are not mindful too. Mindful of not mindful is also mindfulness. And what Jinin is saying, when you are mindful, the very moment you become mindful of that, immediately you feel calm, you feel collected, and that's how you will gain the benefit of it. Sadly, I couldn't find that the PowerPoint today. Maybe next time I will try to find out and how it works and how it affects. And one of them is, as Nikhil and Katrina is saying, too much things being asked and you cannot offer, or sometimes you try to do more than what you can offer. And in those cases, again, it's kind of overloaded. When you're overloaded, then that moment also causes a lot of strain in our brain, in our body, and causes a lot of troubles. And this is again, it's on the state of awareness that how much we can develop, and that will help us to be more calmer. Like previously, I was taking so much on my shoulders, and then gradually I even forgot that how much tired I became, and it's this cycle that I've been working and working and working, and then I didn't feel tiredness, but feel always needed to do something. And there was a moment came that, oh, this is not good. And then I stepped back. I took step backs, and which basically become a mindful of those states. And then it helped me to be more grounded and become more aware again. And also this whole week from the 9th of October until today, and so tomorrow, I've been waking up like very early, and it's like 2 o'clock in the morning, and constantly working throughout the day from 2 o'clock and the late night. So tomorrow will be my day off, and hopefully we'll have some rest. And this is again, what happens is our mind is always, well, in a practice of a meditation, helps us to recognize that in order to keep the body going, we have to feed it. So we have to feed the nutritious foods, and we have to drink a lot of water, and then the body will continue go, and we are surviving. And the second, that is not that much we pay attention to. But the second one in a practice called the senses. If we do not see anything, now you can try this one. If you do not see anything, if you never heard anything, and there is no smell, there is no taste, and the body has just no other environment, then this body will not survive too. This body will not survive too. So these senses also helping to grow or to sustain this body too. Now this you can check from your own observation. Let's say, suppose you are with a mobile phone. And when you are playing with a mobile phone, there's so much strain going on in your eyes, in your brain, in your head. The moment when suddenly you close your eyes and pay attention to your eyes, and then look at how nerves or how brain works, and you see the tension there going on. Right? And that is the second, you can observe that one. And same with the hearing, like hearing a noise or a hearing capability also develops too. And that also we can observe too. Like last night, I was talking with one of a gentleman who was here to practice meditation and went on practicing Vipassana meditation, went on the retreats. And one of the retreats, he beginning to hear the frequency in his noise, so in his ears. And it frightened him because of the hearing the subtle frequencies that coming in. And then he began to search on Google, what is that sound? And he found that it could be, remember, it could be, okay, tinnitus that disturbs your brain by hearing the noise. And he was so disturbed with that. And he proliferated more that this is a tinnitus, this is a tinnitus, this is a tinnitus. Now the noise became more louder and louder and louder. And that affected his condition. He couldn't sleep. Now it's become a psychosomatic disease. See? Yeah. And that's how these senses also fading. And another one is the mind. It's called the feeding. We need some form of a motivation to wake it up, or motivation to continue working. It's called a mano sanchetana ahara. And this, as your meditation develops, as your mind develops and become more aware of in your daily lives, and you will be able to see. Now, this is becoming from at the beginning with I mentioned about the conditions, how mind works. We able to notice that how it is affecting our day, how it is affecting our body, how it is affecting our relationship, how we perceive things, how we relate to the situation, even the food, the noise, the sound, the people, everything is coming from inside. That is feeding. It's like a motivation to do things, or motivation always keeps us continue doing, right? Suppose you have some message or you have something to do that needs to be finished. Then, although your body have very tired, but you still continue to do until you can fix that. Like let's say a mother, when a child is unwell, that wakes the mother's this motivation to do everything, any possible ways to help the child. And at the very moment when the job finishes, you feel tired. Job finishes, you feel like exhausted and you need a deep rest. So that's coming from inside. So in our life, it is happening in this way, that whenever things needs to be done and we motivate to do it, and the more you are doing it, after a certain period of a time when motivation drops, then you realize, oh, it's too much for me now I need a rest. So practice of a meditation helps us to recognize that how these things nurture our life. How these things nurture our behaviors and the way we live and the way we are working and how we are feeling and how we are performing our daily routine. And that's why this is not a concentration meditation, but it is a practice that on the go. We are practicing it in daily life. Every day that we are doing, from day one moment when we wake up, right? And rather than seeing it as obstacle, enjoying with it. And then you do as much as you can. And if you can't do it, just let it be. And that letting it be doesn't mean you are lazy or you neglect it, but you have simply understood that this much I can do. Now let's have a rest. And then once you work up from the rest, back again, work again, like that. Like in the past, every Tuesdays and Wednesdays, I had to give talks and lead a meditation, and sometimes working overload and become very tired. And then I just realized that, okay, I need a rest. And then I simply go down and I lie down and observing all the sensations and feelings. And then suddenly I am on a state of a short nap. The moment after the short nap, I kind of waking up from a deep sleep, and then rejuvenized and get some energies and back to work again. So that's why the practice makes us to realize these situations and help us to deal with the different difficulties and problems, and so we can perform effectively in our jobs. And also whenever we have a trouble, we will be able to deal with that. And also I think I have referred or saying a couple of times in the past as well, do not wait to practice when you are unwell or when you need it, but we have to train ourselves, and then we will be able to use it when it is necessary. It's like a soldiers are training every single day. Doesn't mean that there will be a war, but never know, there could be. So they train to be able to use all the weapons and keeping themselves fit, preparing for those possible moments to arise. And the same with us. Our life, we have to face with the difficulties all the time. It doesn't matter where we go, where we are. All the senses observing things is like going into the war. And practice is simply we able to deal with that if we are continuously practicing and regularly dealing with this practice. So the perfect, we will be able to deal with the situation and perform our job wisely. Right? So this I would give you as an example or some reflections. Next time I will find my slides on the sleep and I will explain to you. There's another, if I remember, there's another slide as well, which talks about the restless, sleepless, and tiredness. So I will find that too. But my plan is that from maybe December or January, we'll go on the suttas, discourses, to go into the deeper understanding of the teachings as well as practice. Right. Anybody wants to share or talk? No? Okay, so that case, I'm not a good speaker to continue speaking if there is no interaction. So in that case, I will just lead you to the meditation. Okay, so let's practice the meditation. As you hear the gong of sound and practice. this time, when you hear a gong, simply bring your attention to the body in the present moment. So relax the entire body by taking a long breath. And feel the body presence here. And you may spend some time scanning the entire body, the 7 parts of the body, the head, the right hand, the left hand, front part of the body, back of the body, right leg and left leg. So going into each part, visiting and seeing, observing what's happening. Beginning from the head, and the right hand, and visiting your left hand, front part of the body, and back of the body, right leg, left leg, and observing sensations in the whole body. How do you feel? At this moment, you may be able to observe some form of movements taking place as breathe in and breathe out. the expansion of the body, contraction of the body. At this moment, you can choose to react or simply observe. Or enjoying this is happening. At this moment, maybe sometimes other thoughts creeps in. The thought of the past or the future. Remember, these are also happening in here, the moment, here and now. So observing them, acknowledging those thoughts, making a mental note of it, thinking, and let it go. Not just the thoughts, it could be other sound that you're hearing, the pain and the acheness in your body or itchiness, whatever these phenomena are there, observing them objectively, acknowledging their presenceness, making a mental note of it, and let go. So disengaging yourself from those thought process rather than going into the thoughts and lost into the thoughts. And enjoying the moment here and now, knowing what's happening. So A, aware of all the sensations. B, being presence, having a present moment awareness. C, choose to react or respond. So conscious awareness will help us to respond rather than react. And understanding as they truly are, seeing them clearly rather than through our perceptions. When we see that clearly, so D, disengaged. So you are in a neutral position, here and now. Moment of here and now. After you have observed the reality pertaining to itself, acknowledging their presenceness, and then noting that this is there, and let go. So disengage yourself from those phenomena or the thought process after having a clear understanding. And enjoy. E, enjoyment. Enjoy the moment here and now with the clear awareness, bare awareness, being mindful of what's happening as they are. Free yourself from all those worries and troubles, clutters and negativities and tiredness. So free bodily and mentally. It's F. And freedom is what we look for. Freedom from all those defilements and worries that causes unhappiness. And you can practice that freedom by even taking a long breath and releasing it, which we normally do automatically whenever we feel very tired. And naturally we take a long breath and breathe out. Or even sometimes we say, I need a break. We take a long breath, exhausted, and then breathe out. And we feel good. So, feeling good, G. And happy. And remember, whatever is happening, observing objectively. Observing objectively as they are. And do not try to make it in preference to yourself. That this must be that, that must be this, or it should be this way or that way. Observing them objectively and having a mind of a naturalist who just observes things as they truly are rather than I making and my making. When we're able to observe the reality as they are, and that brings joy and happiness. And knowing and learning moment by moment. Noting everything that comes, observe everything that occurs objectively, patiently, persistently, observing that. Quietly, realizing the realities. seeing them as they appear and seeing them clearly. And understanding that we are the responsible to every action that we take. So no rushing to know, to understand, taking your time, but patiently and persistently observing them. And that's how you will be here and now. Mind body is fully united. I will practice the Lovingkindness meditation, which is very important. Part of the practice. So bring your attention to observe the entire body again, feeling the sensations throughout the body, and allowing yourself to be happy. Appreciating yourself for performing good deeds, doesn't matter how small that is. And giving rewards to yourself. Ability to meditate, such as spending time to practice. Bring your attention to your hands, observing sensations in your hand. Whatever sensations are there, mindfully observing. Do not move or do not change the position of your hand to see it. Leaving them as they are, but observing the sensations. And bring that attention to your heart. Feel the beating heart. And if you can't feel the beating heart, physically smiling will connect you. So smile and feel the connection with your heart. And sharing loving kindness and compassion to yourself. May I be well. May I be happy. May I be at peace. So may I be well, may I be happy, may I be at peace. So intentionally we are giving food to our mind, the positive energy, vibes to it. May I be free from suffering, hatred, ill will, animosity, dangers. May I be liberated, liberated. You're sharing loving kindness and compassion to yourself, embracing yourself, thanking and appreciating yourself, both body and the mind. Similarly, sharing loving kindness and compassion to all other sentient beings. You may start off with someone who you think they really need it. So bring into your mind their face or a name, or just visualizing them and sharing this love and kindness, wishing him or her best of luck. May you be happy. May you be at peace. May you be free from suffering. May you be free. May you be happy. And similarly, sharing loving kindness and compassion to all other sentient beings far and wide, beginning from a person who's next to us or family members in the house, acknowledging their presence, appreciating their presence, and extending it to members of the community, members of public, the city, the country, and the earth, entire universe, whatever beings there are, small and big, tall and short, living on earth, in the water, on air, visible and invisible beings. May they be well, may they be happy, may they be at peace. May they be free from suffering. May they be liberated, liberated. Whatever merits that I have accumulated in the past and today, we will share to all of you. May you all rejoice. Those beings who are in trouble, may their troubles free. Those who are already well and happy, their well-being and happiness increase. May they all be free. May all beings be happy. So bring your attention to your hands back, aware of sensations in your hands and to your body and to your eyes. And as you hear gong, slowly opening your eyes and coming back to the normal position. Okay, so thank you everyone. Wish you all the best. This is the end of today's session, and I hope that you all get something to take away and practice. So thank you. Warafon.
Thank you very much, Prajan. Thank you for my friends. I'm happy to see you, and I hope you can get some takeaway, right? For 1 month, and then we will see you again for next month. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good
Bye.
day. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.